What if the most dangerous person heading into the 2026 World Baseball Classic isn't Shohei Ohtani himself, but the woman standing right beside him? When Mamiko Tanaka boards that plane back to Japan with Shohei and their baby daughter, something shifts. The energy changes. Japanese media goes into full panic mode. Fans lose their minds. And the baseball world starts asking a question nobody expected: is the Ohtani family as a whole bigger than the WBC itself? Today, we're going to explore why Mamiko Tanaka's return to Japan for the 2026 WBC is far more than a family trip, and what it tells us about the man who might just be the greatest baseball player who ever lived. When Shohei Ohtani shocked the world in February 2024 with a simple Instagram post announcing he was married, nobody knew who she was. He didn't name her. He didn't show her face. He simply wrote, in Japanese, that he had begun a new chapter in his life with someone very special from his native country of Japan. The entire baseball world froze. Then a week later, her identity leaked. Mamiko Tanaka. A former professional basketball player. Born December 11, 1996, in Tokyo. 5 feet, 11 inches tall. A power forward who played 4 seasons for the Fujitsu Red Wave in Japan's top women's basketball league before retiring in 2023. A silver medalist representing Japan at the 2017 Summer Universiade. A woman who played basketball with the same relentless focus and quiet determination that her husband brings to baseball. This was not just Shohei Ohtani's wife. This was a two-sport power couple that Japan had never seen before. And here's what makes this story even more remarkable. While fans expected a celebrity glamour relationship, what they got was something completely different. Mamiko was quiet. She was private. She didn't chase the spotlight. She showed up at Dodger Stadium in a simple outfit, watching the game alongside the other wives, and every single person in that stadium couldn't stop looking at her. Not because she was trying to steal attention, but because she absolutely commanded it without trying at all. One fan on X summed it up perfectly. He wrote, "Ohtani's wife, rare sighting." And that one sentence said everything. Because in a world where athletes' partners crave social media fame and red carpet moments, Mamiko Tanaka was something entirely different. Now fast forward to April 19, 2025. Shohei Ohtani posted a photo to Instagram. 2 tiny feet. And a caption that read, "I am so grateful to my loving wife who gave birth to our healthy beautiful daughter. To my daughter, thank you for making us very nervous yet super anxious parents." The entire baseball world melted. But while the internet celebrated, behind the scenes, a massive question was forming. Shohei Ohtani had already agreed to play for Samurai Japan in the 2026 World Baseball Classic. The WBC was starting March 5, 2026, at the Tokyo Dome. Japan was the defending champion. And Ohtani, now a new father, was expected to be the centerpiece of the entire tournament. But would Mamiko come? Would she bring their baby daughter? Would the world get its first look at the Ohtani family on Japanese soil? Ohtani would not be pitching at the WBC. He would participate, but only as a hitter. The reason was simple and sensible. After everything his body went through in 2025, the Dodgers and Ohtani agreed that protecting his arm for the MLB season was the priority. Robert said what everyone already understood, that this decision was made to keep Ohtani at 100% for the full MLB season. But that didn't make Japan any less excited. Because even at half capacity, as a pure hitter, a new father, a national icon returning home, Shohei Ohtani walking into the Tokyo Dome with Mamiko and their daughter by his side would be one of the most powerful images in Japanese sports history. So why does Mamiko Tanaka's presence cause such a panic? Why does Japanese media treat her return like a news event on its own? The answer is simple. She is almost impossible to photograph, almost impossible to interview, and almost impossible to predict. And in a media culture that craves content, that level of mystery is absolutely magnetic. During the 2025 postseason, when the Dodgers were on their way to another World Series run, Mamiko made headlines not for anything she said or did, but simply for showing up. Freddie Freeman's wife Chelsea posted a photo with the other Dodgers WAGs before Game 3 of the NLCS. And the entire comments section exploded. Not because of anything dramatic, but because Mamiko was there. Standing tall. Quietly stylish. Undeniable. One commenter wrote simply, "One vote for Mamiko." Another said, "Long hair suits Mamiko so well." She wasn't trying to go viral. She just did. And before Game 4 of the NLCS, the game where Ohtani hit 3 home runs and threw 6 scoreless innings with 10 strikeouts in what many called the single greatest individual performance in baseball history, Shohei walked into Dodger Stadium pushing a stroller, Mamiko at his side, their baby daughter bundled up, their famous dog Decoy trotting alongside them. It was a scene that felt almost impossible. The greatest player in the world. A brand new father. A family built entirely in the quiet, and yet the entire world was watching. That is why, when Mamiko Tanaka goes back to Japan for the WBC, Japanese fans are not just curious. They are overwhelmed. Because they know that when she arrives, she brings with her everything that makes the Ohtani story so much bigger than baseball. And now the question everyone is asking. The one that has flooded Japanese baseball fan forums, social media threads, and sports talk shows. Will Ohtani's daughter make her first public appearance at the WBC? Since her birth in April 2025, she has been kept completely away from the public eye. No photos of her face. No social media appearances. Just that one quiet image, 2 tiny feet, and the most heartfelt caption her father could write. But at Dodgers Fest in early 2026, Ohtani gave us a rare glimpse into his new life as a father. When asked about his strengths and weaknesses as a new parent, he smiled and said, "I can lift her up pretty high and she seems to enjoy that. In terms of weakness, you gotta ask my wife." The crowd laughed. The internet exploded. And everyone fell in love with the image of this 6'4" superstar gently lifting his baby daughter over his head in their living room in Los Angeles. Now imagine that same energy, on Japanese soil. In front of a Tokyo Dome filled with 55,000 screaming fans. The child who was born into the most watched family in baseball, finally seen by the country that calls her father a national hero. Even if it's just a fleeting glimpse. Even if Ohtani and Mamiko protect her privacy the way they always have. The possibility alone is enough to send Japanese media into a complete spiral. And honestly, you can't blame them. Here's the key to understanding why this story matters. It's not really about the WBC. It's about what Shohei Ohtani represents to an entire nation, and how Mamiko and their daughter have made that story even more powerful. For years, Ohtani was a mystery. He played in America. He kept his private life locked away. Japanese fans adored him from a distance, watching every home run on social media, wearing his jerseys, celebrating every MVP award. But there was always a distance. A glass wall between the greatest Japanese baseball player in history and the country that made him. Mamiko changed that. When she walked alongside him in Seoul for the Dodgers opening series. When she cheered at Dodger Stadium with Decoy on her lap. When she stood front and center at the World Series celebration. She made Shohei Ohtani human. She made him a husband. A father. A man. And now, as Samurai Japan prepares to defend its World Baseball Classic title, with a roster that includes Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Seiya Suzuki, Munetaka Murakami, and the best collection of Japanese baseball talent ever assembled, the question is no longer just, can Japan win again? The question is, what does it look like when Japan's greatest hero comes home, as a father, and reminds the entire world why he is still, without question, the most remarkable baseball player alive? That is what Mamiko Tanaka's return to Japan for the WBC represents. Not panic. Not chaos. but something far more rare in sports. So what do you think? Is Mamiko Tanaka already the most influential woman in baseball history, without ever playing a single inning? And will Ohtani's daughter make her public debut at the Tokyo Dome? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you in the next one.